Hey, greetings, friends. Bob Watts here. I just finished up my weekly demystifying meditation with a couple of my students in that class, and I forgot to do the recording. I was planning on recording a guided meditation that's a little bit longer in length, maybe 20, 25 minutes. So I thought I'd just hop on real quick and do that here in this space, do the guided meditation here. So a couple of words about meditation for those of you who might be newer. I used to be under the impression that in meditation, you had to stop your mind. And that's just not the case. The act of meditation, the process of meditation is noting when your mind wanders and then bringing that bringing the mind back to a single point of focus. So that single point of focus can be a number of different things. It can be the way that your body is feeling. It can be a yoga pose. It can be a sound. It can be a candle. It can be ambient noises in the room. There's any number of things you can use as a single point of focus to bring you back. So in this longer meditation today, I'm going to use my singing bowl. Looks like this. This is my singing bowl. It has a little mallet. So that's what I'm going to be using today to remind you when your brain has started to go off on this path and ruminating or thinking or doing what the brain does. It's just going to be a little reminder to bring you back to that point and away from this racing mind. The idea is to turn down the volume of the thinking brain, what's going on inside the brain, so that you can still the mind. And why are we doing this? There's a number of different outcomes from meditation. It depends on the person, where they're at, what they have going on. Personally, I've found that I've become far less reactive since I started meditating. I describe it as having found my internal pause button. So other people may have indicated that they have increased energy, more of a sense of calm, more of a connection with their self-awareness and that kind of thing. And while it's okay to multitask and have a lot of things going on in our brain, the problem is when we can't turn that switch off, when that's all we have going on. So we have a busy day at work, we're productive at work, and then we wind down our day and go to bed and we can't sleep because the brain is busy, active, ruminating, worrying about the project that we have going on, and we can't turn that switch off. So let's go ahead and just, wherever you are, however you're seated, you're going to want to find a comfortable place that's a position that's comfortable and sustainable. You don't have to be perfectly still during the duration of the meditation. You don't necessarily have to be seated up, and you certainly don't have to be sitting in a cross-legged position on a cushion with incense burning. None of that is necessary. You want to be comfortable and you want to be alert. So while meditating in a reclined position is certainly a possibility, it's not always recommended because there's a high risk and high likelihood of falling asleep. Not that falling asleep is a problem or there's anything bad with falling asleep, but when we're sleeping, we're not meditating. Meditating is this catching the mind when it's thinking and bringing it back to the single point of focus. So I'm going to guide you through this. I'm going to turn the video off and obviously leave the audio on. As I guide you through this meditation, and let's just say we'll take about 20 minutes. Let me set a timer here. So let's go ahead and get in a comfortable position, whatever that looks like for you. Perhaps your feet are flat on the floor, perhaps you're leaning back on a cushion, or perhaps you're reclined on the floor. And then go ahead and close your eyes. So we're going to take out our eyes. not actually take out our eyes, but we're going to close our eyes, remove that visual from the equation, and that's going to allow us to begin to come inside. So the first thing I want you to notice is just how your body feels. And I look at this like noticing how gravity is impacting your body. In whatever position you are, different parts of your body are touching your chair or cushion, the floor, the furniture around you. Just think about those pressure points. And again, we're in the relaxed but aware state. The gentle pull of gravity against our body. And just noting what shows up in your body today. We live in a world and a culture where there's a tendency to ignore things that show up in our body and sweep them under the rug. We're just examining what's going on in our body today, how our body feels today. And we're being that objective observer. We're not judging or qualifying or trying to explain. We're just noticing. We're just looking at that observer, that silent watcher. Now, just for a moment, I want you to turn your attention away from the body and turn your attention to your breath. And sometimes this isn't easy, but don't change your breath. It's like when I go to the doctor and he's listening to me with the stethoscope and he says, breathe normally. I suddenly forget how I breathe. But do your best just to allow your inhale and exhale to be at their normal rate. Just noting how it feels when the breath goes in and then when you exhale out. Sometimes it helps me to focus in on where I feel that the most. So maybe on the inhale, it's the cool air coming in through my nostrils. And maybe on the exhale, it's my shoulders dropping and just my whole body releasing. But as you breathe, just consider what that feels like. All right, so release your attention from that. And now you have these two options. Let's go ahead and add a third. A third option to focus your attention on is the sounds in your environment. So I don't know if you can hear it, but I've got a pigeon that's talking quite loudly here in my backyard. And you probably have some other sounds in your environment. And it's important when we use ambient sound as a point of focus that we not get too carried away with the meaning or an explanation of the sound. We're just observing. Just like we did with the body, we're not trying to create an explanation for any of this. We're just noting. So of these three, pick one that works for you as we move into the portion of this meditation that's going to have less guidance. But I do have the reminder and that's just that tone that I'm playing on my singing bowl to alert you, to remind you that you're meditating and not just sitting here letting the mind wander. I think of this as my mind going down the rabbit hole. One thought leads to the next, leads to the next. So when you notice that you're thinking, you might say to yourself, thinking, and then come back to that breath, to that body, or to those sounds in your or my environment. So let's give that a try. So we have about 6 or 7 more minutes left. And I want to try something a little different. This time I'm going to play a sound on the bowl. And just like before, you'll hear the sound on the bowl begin to fade out. And try and recreate that sound in your mind. So as the sound fades, try to bring your attention back to the sound of the bowl. See if you can recreate that in your mind. So let's do one more cycle of that. Listening to the bowl and then recreating that sound in your mind in the space between. All right, so let's bring our attention back to our breath. Even if that was your point of focus all along, let's just everyone bring your attention back to the breath. And then let's inhale and exhale. So a deep inhale in, long exhale. Another deep inhale in, long exhale out. One more time. Inhaling in, long exhale out, expelling all that air from the bottom of your lungs. And then just allow the breath to come back to normal. Again, just refocusing on the breath, allowing it to go back to its normal cadence, its normal rhythm. We've just got about one more minute. The mind wanders. We come back to the breath. All right, let's go ahead and keeping the eyes closed. Let's just relax our attention, relax our focus, and just let the mind do what it wants. Just let go. And then take just a moment to think about how you feel. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes. So that was about 25 minutes total, I think, maybe a little bit longer. I can't remember when I started the timer. But it's often helpful for me after I do a meditation to jot some things down. Just take some notes, jot some things down, anything that came up, anything that might be useful, you can post it in the comments below if you're on YouTube watching this. That's all I got. So I hope you got something out of that. I hope you enjoyed just a little bit of time to sit and be with yourself. We'll see you next time. Bye now.